What is Jizya?
What?
What is Jizya?
What is Jizya?
What is Jizya?
Why do I think he's disguising his voice or something?
Can I just stop you a second?
Yeah.
You came on, right, and said, what is Jizya?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like
now
you didn't know what it was.
lecture on Jizya.
So you know
Yeah,
what Jizya, right?
He's writing a book about Jizya.
Yeah.
Hamza Myatt posted another garbage video where again he humiliates himself, showing not only his complete ignorance about basic concepts, but also his arrogance. Here he says agnostic fails to understand the jizya.
What is Jizya?
What?
What is Jizya?
Wa alaikum jizya wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Is that what you've been waiting to say?
I want to say
Looking in the
Jizya.
mirror.
Like, do you want to give salam? Do you want to say something? Do you want to like, hey, hi, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Hello.
Jean-Luc, where are you calling from?
I think, honestly, I think Jean-Luc has been doing a Robert De Niro like Taxi Driver, looking in the mirror. What is Jizya? What is Jizya? Go on. What's going on, Jean-Luc? What's the score, man? Why are you so pent up?
What is Jizya?
What is Jizya?
Why do I think he's disguising his voice or something?
This is trolling. Who are you? Can you introduce yourself? Like, tell us who you are?
It's a good question. So basically, jizya is what men of military age would pay in an Islamic state to exempt them from the military.
Yes. Quran 9:29. O you who believe, ask unbelieving men of military age the jizya. It is better for them, exempting them from the burden of military duties. And Allah is all-knowing, all-merciful. That's why this verse. Of course, the real verse is this.
Fight those who believe not in Allah nor the last day, nor hold that forbidden which has been forbidden by Allah and His Messenger, nor acknowledge the religion of truth from among the people of the book, until they pay the jizya with willing submission and feel themselves subdued.
From this verse and others, and from Hadith, we get the real purpose of the jizya, which is, through the use of a discriminatory, humiliating, and burdening tax, affirm the domination of Muslims and make the social conditions for Islamic supremacy.
O you who believe, truly the pagans are unclean. So let them not after this year of theirs approach the sacred mosque. And if you fear poverty, soon will Allah enrich you, if He wills, out of His bounty, for Allah is all-knowing, all-wise.
This was one verse before the jizya verse. Here Allah claims that with the jizya that He calls His bounty, He will enrich the Muslims who were losing money because they banned unbelievers from the secret mosque. So the second purpose of the jizya is to enrich Muslims. Here we can clearly see the tribal nature and character quality of Allah, that He commands Muslims to subjugate other peoples so they can be enriched, burdening other people. Not to mention the stupidity someone must have to believe that God and not the humans who are telling the story care about taxes. Also, we see the bigoted nature of this Puritanist cult that calls other people unclean and commands to violently subjugate those people.
It's not the same.
Do you pay your taxes? Well, look, here's the thing, Jean-Luc. I just explained to you what it is. So it is the same. So do you pay your taxes?
This is the jizya, by the way, is a once a year thing.
Exactly.
And it's significantly less than what.
And there's a scholar who said,
Jean-Luc, do you pay your taxes, mate?
No, it's not the same as
Do you
taxes.
pay your taxes? Do you pay your taxes?
Yeah, I
What's
pay
the distinction?
Taxes. What happens if you don't pay your taxes? Are you subdued?
Of course.
Right. So
are you humiliated when you go to jail? If you go to jail for dodging taxes and you get caught, are you humiliated by going to jail?
The jizya tax is meant, what happened? Anyway, let's go again. The jizya tax is meant to humiliate and subjugate unbelievers. That's not the same as if someone doesn't pay taxes in a secular country and then goes to jail and then he is humiliated. It would have been the same if in a secular country we make a special tax for Muslims meant to humiliate and subjugate them in order to make the social conditions for them to become Christians or atheists. That would have been the analogy.
No.
You're not? So when you
You
go
don't
to jail,
get, you don't go to
do you
jail. You
actually
don't pay
enjoy
your
it?
taxes.
Five-star
When
hotel.
you go to jail, do you actually enjoy it?
No.
You don't enjoy it. So what happens to you? How do you feel when you go to jail?
I don't feel anything. I didn't go to jail.
If you don't feel ashamed for going to jail, then you must be a criminal as a career. Your career must be as a criminal then.
How embarrassing. Really, seriously now. Seriously, Hashim. So you are making the argument that when people go to jail and they feel humiliated is the same as what the verse we just read that says that. Let's read the verse again and let's see, Hashim, whether what you're saying is true.
Fight those who believe not in Allah nor the last day. Nor hold that forbidden which has been forbidden by Allah and His Messenger. Nor acknowledge the religion of truth from among the people of the book, until they pay the jizya with willing submission and feel themselves subdued.
Did it say that if they don't pay the jizya, they will then feel subdued when they go and humiliated, when they go to jail? No, it says, until they pay the jizya with willing submission and feel themselves subdued by paying the jizya. So the purpose of the jizya is for them to feel subdued. Okay, Hashim. So now let's count the errors. Sorry, I don't want to use the word idiot anymore. I'm sorry about that. I want to be calm. Okay, let's count the errors. That was a tragic error. Tragic. Okay, so you completely misrepresented the verse. The other error, I remember now, was that Hamza Myatt said something about the jizya is for an Islamic state. Let's see.
It's a good question. So basically, jizya is what men of military age would pay in an Islamic state to exempt them from the military.
Allah's messenger said, I've been ordered to fight the people till they say, none has the right to be worshipped but Allah. And if they say so, pray like our prayers, face our Qibla, and slaughter as we slaughter, then their blood and property will be secret to us. And we will not interfere with them except legally, and their reckoning will be with Allah. Only in an Islamic state, or maybe also when you attack them. Because Muhammad sent some letters to the Romans, for example, to Heraclitus, I think. Okay, anyway, so he sent some letters and he said that convert, it's better for you, convert to Islam, or else. So if you convert to Islam, you will be safe. So Jizya, Hamza Myatt, is when you also come to my place and you say that convert to Islam, pay the Jizya, or you will be attacked. Okay, so it's not only in an Islamic state, it's also when you attack people with offensive jihad.
When Muslims go and conquer the adjacent country, the Prophet says, the first thing you do is call them to Islam. If they accept it, leave them. Khalas, they're Muslims, we go. If they refuse, then tell them Allah obliged upon you to pay taxation, jizya. When enemy comes and attack your country, you don't fight. We Muslims protect you. But the ruling is for Sharia. So you do not open nightclubs, you do not fornicate in the streets, you do not, no, Sharia rules. If they refuse, then we have to fight. And if we fight you, then we capture you, you become our slaves, and we take your land, and you take where, because you refuse, I give you two good options. This is the strength of Islam. But nowadays, forget this, maybe in the coming 40, 50 years when the Muslims become strong as they're supposed to be.
But there is a scholar who said they have to pay it, and
you haven't
they
answered
are
my question.
Slav-alone.
Do you sincerely
And they
not feel
have to
shame for going to jail?
they
Seriously.
have to make a queue, and the one who pays jizya must be standing up, and the one who takes the jizya, the Muslim one, must be sitting. And
Which scholar
sometimes
said that?
Ibn al-Qayyim,
Can I just stop you a second?
yeah,
You came on, right, and said, "What is jizya?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like
now
you didn't know what it was.
lecture on jizya.
So you know
Yeah,
what jizya, right?
He's writing a book about Jizya.
Hamza, it's nice that you are laughing with your Nazi cult that wants to subjugate people and make people second-class citizens. It's nice that you're laughing. And I really enjoy how this guy, in other videos, he says things like, he elevates things like, because Islam bans alcohol, therefore Islam is the best way to live. What I don't get is this contrast. You elevate irrelevant, stupid things, like don't eat pork, homosexuality. We are against homosexuality, and on the other, with the same breath, you totally understate and undermine things like a Nazi dictatorship. Not important. Let's all live under a Nazi dictatorship. Hamza Myatt, do you comprehend that if someone tries to implement the stupid rules of Islam, like jizya, there will be a third world war? For example, I will kill everybody before I pay jizya. How about that? How about that? Is that helping the social cohesion? Jizya, making second-class citizens, humiliating them. That is a good way of life. Hamza.
Yeah, I know what is
Can I
jizya.
just quickly summarize something? I just finished reading the book actually.
Why did you ask us what is jizya?
I think the question should be, why do you think it's wrong to pay jizya? And for the Muslims pay more zakat in a year, yes, than anyone who pays jizya, even if they were multimillionaires.
What you say, Hashim, is not true. And you forgot to give us the references. Okay, we know that there is no specified amount in Quran or Hadith about the amount of the jizya. What we do know, and it is in fact specified in Quran and Hadith, is that the jizya is meant to enrich Muslims. How can you be enriched when you pay more than what the people of the book, of the subjugated people are paying you? So the Quran says that you will be enriched with the jizya. And let's go to the Hadith that says something like, don't forget to collect the jizya because it's the source of your livelihood. Let's see this Hadith. Chief of the believers, advise us. He said, I advise you to fulfill Allah's convention made with the Dhimmis, as it is the convention of your prophet and the source of livelihood of your descendants, i.e. the taxes from the Dhimmis. So the chief of the believers, Umar ibn Khattab, describes the jizya as a source of livelihood for Muslims.
So the Muslims have to pay a percentage, which is 2.5%, whereas the person who is rich even, they might just pay 1 gold dinar in the entire year. Now, do you think, wait a minute, if you were a Muslim, do you think that would be fair?
Muslim apologists in the West are either ignorant, either they lie. Okay, so I think, I don't know, I really don't know. So are they truly that ignorant? I think they are. Okay, so they present some kind of Mickey Mouse Islam for the Westerners. The same people in an Islamic state, I believe, their mindset will change. Okay, and they will be honest with themselves. Okay, so the jizya is part of the dhimmihood. Dhimmihood is the status of the protecting people. So the jizya is one part of this status of protected people, called the dhimmis, which is a derogatory term. There is a reason why it's a derogatory term. So let's see now what are the other things that define the dhimmihood status.
Right, this is well interesting because you know all you hear all these guys going on about the jizya and oppressing kuffars and all of this. These are like the terms of jizya and the conditions that Dhimmi will live under. Listen to this. We will not build any more churches and other places of worship. Neither shall we repair those that have gotten weak in their structure, and those churches that have already fallen, we will not rebuild. We will not be rebuilt. Our doors will always be wide. Yo, fam. Our doors will be wide open both day and night for all Muslim travelers who would like to stay with us, and will host them for 3 days and 3 nights. Do you hear that? The kuffars have to keep their doors open, yeah? The dhimmis, for Muslim travelers who would like to stay with them for 3 days and 3 nights. We will not give protection to any spies in our homes, and we will not deceive Muslims by any means. You lot should copy this.
Then I thought this was the Taliban's treaty thing.
No. It's the footnote of just an example of what a dhimmi, what he lives under, innit? His rights and stuff. Listen to this. Number 4, we will not teach our children the glorious Quran, and we will not manifest shirk to them, and we will not preach our religion to anyone. And if anyone wants to accept Islam, he will not be stopped from that. Number 5 condition. We will treat Muslims with dignity and respect, and if they would like to take their seat, we will leave our seat and will make it available for the Muslims.
Wait, can you see?
And unfortunately, it's the other way around today.
Yeah, but look at number 4. We will not teach them the glorious Quran. Why do you think that is?
Because they can corrupt it.
Yeah, because they're gonna just make it out to be deviant, bro. They're gonna use it for their own agendas and all that.
And next thing you know, they'll start creating their own religion and that.
Exactly.
And we will not manifest shirk to them, and we will not preach our religion to anyone. If anyone wants to accept Islam, he will not be stopped from that. Right, and they basically have to give up their seat up for us, you know.
Not imitate Muslims in their appearance, whether it is in clothing, shoes, nor in their hairstyle. SubhanAllah, I heard this before, yeah, that the dhimmi has to dress differently and look different to the Muslims. So the Muslims, you can see clearly he's a Muslim.
I think, you know what it is? You know, with Umar al-Khattab, yeah, he was differently strict on the kuffar, didn't it? He used to be like, well, I'm not going to honor them when Allah dishonored them in the Quran. You get me?
Yeah.
So, as we can clearly see here, Muslims reading the immoral nonsense in Islamic scriptures, they have a mindset like Nazi. Whose fault is that? So these Muslims, Hamza Myatt, read the Quran, Hadith, Islamic scriptures, and got to the idea of Nazi. They became Nazis. That's how good moral advice the Quran and Hadith have.
Okay. Subhanallah, man. They have to.
This is grimy. This is going to come across bare intolerant, but so be it, bro. Haq is haq, innit?
Exactly. Islam is Islam. You can't change it for anyone.
So I should send this to Ali Dawa. Okay. We will treat.
Sorry, brother. You actually should send it to Ali Dawa and then say to him, stop giving the coconut dawa anymore and give him the real dawa.
Yeah, it's true, man. I think, you know what? Every Muslim has this stage where he has an awakening, innit? And he's either going to go the right way or he's going to go down the coconut route.
Yeah, and you know the coconut route doesn't cause you any problems.
Yeah, man, definitely.
You don't lose your job from the coconut route. You don't get called extremist from the coconut route. You don't potentially go to prison for the coconut route. You don't get killed for the coconut route. So it's easy, isn't it?
All right, let's go through these conditions, bro. It looks nuts.
All right.
Okay. We will not teach, or we read that Quran one, not teach our kids Quran, and we will not stop anyone from accepting Islam. We will treat all Muslims with dignity and respect, and if they would like to take their seat, we will leave their seat and will make it available for the Muslims. Number 6, we will not imitate Muslims in their appearance, whether it is in their clothing, shoes, nor in their hairstyles. Number 7, we will not speak the language of Muslims.
SubhanAllah. No Arabic for you.
Wow.
We will not ride the horses with the saddle, nor will we keep or hang swords. They basically say man has to ride the horse on his side
Like a woman.
You know what? We're gonna have to keep this and go through it at peak times to enrage some kuffar, and enrage some chocolates, bro. We will destroy the chocolate now and put it in the ground, bro.
Oh, subhanAllah, you know what? This actually just destroys like literally every single madkhali and coconut.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
And you know what they'll say? They'll say, no, this isn't from Quran or Sunnah, so I don't accept it. I bet that's what they'll say.
Or they'll try and find a chain in the narration and try to break it.
Yeah.
Okay. We will not engrave Arabic calligraphy on our rings. We will abstain from alcohol. Telling them, man, to abstain from alcohol, bro, straight up. I thought we allowed them because it's part of their religion to do all that Jesus.
Nah, you know what?
Hamza Myatt will claim in many videos that Islam makes the perfect society. Why? Because they don't have alcohol. What about all the other Nazi stuff? And moreover, even this argument is not true. Is stupid. Ban completely alcohol, that's not good. Anyway, guys, okay, so we saw once again what is Islam. Islam is in fact an evil totalitarian political ideology that seeks to subjugate and people under its authoritarian rule. Okay, it's an evil dictatorship, like Nazis. That's simple. Hamza. And all your excuses, the jizya is for males of military age to not go to the military. No, it isn't. Thank you very much.
Akhi, in Islamic Spain, in Al-Andalusia, they were allowed, not on the road, but in their yards, they were allowed.
Okay. So then it says, we will clip our hair from the front. We will not manifest the cross on our churches.